So, welcome back to Creating Hanley. I'm the Hanley of Creating Hanley. So, we are again on my laptop. I still do not have the correct camera setup stuff. So, welcome back, friends and family. If you're new here, thank you for joining Creating Hanley, my website. And today we're going to talk about eggs. Have you noticed there's an egg shortage? Today is December 9th, 2023. I'm sorry, 2022. We have a guest. We have a star guest today. Hang on one second. Yes. Sabrina is coming to say hi. So, we have an egg shortage in the United States and perhaps in the UK, as far as I hear. So, I don't know if you have noticed recently, but going to the grocery store to try to find eggs has become a little bit more difficult. And there's a few reasons that have been in the news as to why that's been happening. I have my own reasons, but let me come up. I don't know. Every time I get online, this cat comes here. Do we have to say hi? Sabrina, want to say hi? Sabrina, say hi. You can't see her face. Okay. I don't know if she's going to be a distraction any more than she already is, but let's just keep going. So, according to some of the news, and I'm just like going through all my news pages here, so that's why I'm not looking at you 100% of the time directly. But there have been a lot of reasons why you cannot find eggs on the shelf. If you have been shopping at any store, I'm sure it's any store. I was at Aldi the other day. Eggs are up to $4.90 a dozen now at Aldi. And Walmart, they're higher. I'm sure, if you get free range, organic eggs, they're going to be even more expensive, which necessarily is not a bad thing. It's just that apparently some of that the farmers of those chickens. So the farmer of the egg. So let's go through some of the reasons why there is a, quote, egg shortage. So let's see. This is the BBC News. So I have my own reason, but according to some of these newscasts, there are a variety of reasons why there's a shortage. It could be the current outbreak of the avian flu. So the chickens are getting sick. If the chickens are sick, they're calling in sick and they're not going to work. So, therefore, production decreases. For it, make sure you can take care of another creature other than yourself so that, it's safe and you provide everything that it needs so it can provide you with some nice fresh eggs a couple times a week. So there's that. The farmers are not getting a fair price for their egg production. Their overhead is increased. Supermarkets, now they're saying supermarkets have a pretty good control on supply and demand, but I don't know. Maybe some of them are. Here's what I heard from Walmart. Just overheard a Walmart employee talk about the egg supply at Walmart to another customer, and I just happened to be there and hear this. And he said that Walmart is allotted, at least this store was allotted so many cartons of eggs, and once they reach that number, that was it until they got, another shipment in. But they were only allotted so many, and if Walmart was, asking for more, they weren't going to get it. Um, so there's that supply issue. But also, I guess if the chickens are sick, that's not going to work. And they're also talking about the war in Russia and Ukraine because apparently a lot of the wheat comes from that region. So wheat is a key ingredient in chicken feed. So if the chickens can't get fed, then they're not going to survive either, and they'll die off eventually. So the herd is culled. But then chickens only have like a 3-year span of production anyway, which, I mean, this is so horrible. You're talking about a living thing, a living creature, uh, and just using it, abusing it to pump out eggs. And female chickens don't need any males around to lay eggs. Chickens just lay unfertilized eggs. So that's what we eat unfertilized eggs. So it has nothing to do with that myth about, oh, chickens don't want to mate with their male rooster. That's BS. That has nothing to do with egg production. So the avian flu, the avian flu, the war in Ukraine and Russia, high cost of resources, farmers not getting paid enough, which is kind of interesting because egg prices have soared. No pun intended. But seriously, egg prices have soared over the past couple years. And just in a couple years, I mean, they went from like under $1 to now almost $5 for the same carton of eggs. Same brand, same quantity, just it's increased. I don't know. What is that? Like 5,000%? Who the hell? I don't know. I'm not, yeah. Somebody out there who's a smart math whiz, you can do that math on that. What else is going on? Yeah, so anyway, I was saying chickens only have between like 22 weeks of age to up to 3 years of age to lay eggs. So once they get older than that, I don't know what happens after they get culled. Do they come into our food supply as chicken wings then? I'm not sure. I mean, do they get turned into pet food or do they get turned into, our food? Or maybe a little bit of both. And then, I have my conspiracy theories that the governments want to make us think that there's these shortages because then we start to pay these, way inflated prices on food. And because we are so dependent upon the governments for our food, that because of the way the system was mechanized, I mean every person at one point used to live on a farm, or at least they could subsistently live on their own for a period of time on whatever land that they had. But now that society's become so mechanized and so monopolized, that we don't do that anymore. Instead, we go to our job, 9 to 5, 9 to 10 jobs, whatever, however many hours, we put our kids in daycare and we're never home. And so we don't even, clean the bathroom, let alone be able to take care of a little mini farm at your own house. And that's all it has to be, just the little mini farm. Like grow some vegetables in the backyard or in potted pots on your porch or back deck or in whatever room that you have available. Just grow a couple tomato plants or zucchini or something. Zucchini actually does get pretty big, so I'd put that outside if you can. That's a summer plant. But grow something that will help you at least, a little bit with your grocery bill. But see, the government doesn't want that to happen, and sometimes a lot of what are they called? Not neighborhoods, but some cities have regulations against how much you can grow in your backyard and if you can grow anything. And some people are saying, oh, you can't collect your own rainwater because that becomes illegal. Like governments want to shut that down too. Like it's rainwater. If I can put out a bucket and collect rainwater, then I'm going to do it, right? It's free, but because it's free, um, governments think, oh, you're going to cut down on your utility bills, and then you won't pay as much as utility bills as you should. So they think they're losing out on profit. It's just a big scam. All of it's a scheme and a scam, and we need to be more aware of that. And the people who are for regulating rainwater and how much you can grow on your land, and I understand you don't want to gaggle of roosters, whatever they're called, out in your backyard when you live in the city, because that's quite annoying to everybody. When that rooster crows at the crack of dawn. I get that, but we should still be able to, support ourselves, to sustain ourselves. Solar panels on the roof that just come to our house. We don't have to buy the solar panels to put into the grid. We can just live off, kind of live off grid, sort of, a little bit. But the system is designed for us to start to, be dependent upon the government for everything. And that's a little scary because then these things happen. Infant formula you can't get. There's a shortage of infant formula. There's a shortage of, what was there a shortage of before? Besides these eggs, there was a shortage of some kind of food before. I think meat. Wasn't there a shortage of beef or something? Yeah. So what the government is doing is, systematically, little by little, they're saying, hey, look at this. We're going to force you to eat in dirt and bugs pretty soon. Or if you can't afford that, then, whoops, I guess you don't have health care access. So, oh, did you get sick? Well, there's no medicine available for you, so good luck. Yeah, this is bad, guys. And you might think, oh, I'm all doom and gloom, but what are you doing? What are you doing to make it better? Do you have a little backyard garden? Are you using less water? Are you, using less electricity to pay into the grid? Now, I'm not saying, to conserve it. I'm saying to reduce your personal bill so you have more cash available instead of paying it all to the government, to the utilities, which the utilities are the government. Banks are bailed out by the government. All these major organizations are bailed out by the government except us. We are not bailed out by the government. Government just wants to use us up until we don't exist anymore, or we become complete robots, and it's not going to be good, guys. So, yeah, I'm not all doom and gloom, but don't be blind to the fact that this stuff is happening. And if you think Trump was the problem, or if you think Biden is the problem, I think they're actually just patsies. They're just kind of like pawns in the big scheme of things. So, yeah, they didn't help, but they didn't have to hurt as much. But, yeah. Anyway. And you might think I'm just rambling, which I kind of am at this point. But anyway, if you need an egg substitute, this book is a good book to look at. And the Bowman College, sorry about the T ring there. Ed Bowman, does the Eating for Health approach to cooking and fresh organic global cuisine. This is a great resource, and I have earmarked banana bread because guess why? Guess why? It has no eggs in it. So I'm just going to open in this page. 0 eggs. So you can see banana bread on this page, and I made it, and I made little notes in here, and it has 0 eggs. So what are the egg substitutes that we can use? Well, there's a lot of egg substitutes that you can use. And I'm going to go through a bunch of them right now for you, okay? Now, if you're baking, eggs are used as a binder. So what you want to do with a binder substitute, it depends on the type of food that you're making. So if you're making like a pancake batter or you're baking bread or something, you can use banana. You can use a half of a ripe mashed banana, like really mash it up, and pretty much any fruit. So you can use fruit puree. Now keep in mind that whatever fruit you use is going to flavor the thing that you're cooking it in. So it won't be like strong, it'll be mild, but you might be able to pick up on it. So you can use a fruit puree, and a 1/4 cup will replace 1 egg of a fruit puree. Hard for me to say. A half of a ripe banana will replace 1 egg. Applesauce. You can use a 1/4 cup of applesauce. An avocado, 1/4 cup of an avocado. 1/4 cup, not a 1/4 avocado, a 1/4 cup per egg. So equal. Now, this is not for the vegetarian, but you can use gelatin. So you can mix 1 cup of boiling water with 2 teaspoons of unflavored gelatin to get a binder. Again, that's not a vegan or a vegetarian diet because gelatin does come from animals. Oops. Xanthan gum. Now, xanthan gum is a white powder that comes from the exoskeleton of bacteria. So some person is employed and they have to scrape off this exoskeleton of bacteria. No, just kidding. That's not how it happens. But you can use 1 teaspoon per recipe to use as a binder for egg-free cakes and cookies. You can also put that in like shakes, ice cream, things that need a little bit of a thickener. So maybe even soups, stews. You can use flax seeds as a binder and also to add a little bit of texture. So they work great in like oatmeal cookies. Try them in Christmas cookies this holiday season. So today is December 9th. So if you are at the grocery store and you can't find eggs, get these other replacements to act as the binder for your baking goods. So you can use them in like muffins and, like shortbreads and things like that don't need a lot of leavening to rise. So you can use 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed to 3 tablespoons of water. Let it sit for around 20 minutes so it gets, it really gels. You can also use chia seeds. Chia seeds are hydrophilic. Hydrophilic means they love water. So chia seeds will act the same way as flax seeds. If you let them sit in water for around 20 minutes, the same thing. They will thicken up and become gel-like, and that is also a vegetarian replacement or a vegan replacement to gelatin. So you can try that. Any kind of powdered egg replacements in a package, like Red Barn? Bob's Red Mill. Bob's Red Mill is a package. Now, I'm not being sponsored by anything here. He's not, that company's not sponsoring me. But you can use egg replacers such as that. There's the vegan egg. There's the veg egg, whatever. You can try those. Again, I'm not sponsored by anybody, and I actually have not used those egg replacements, so I can't personally attest to any of those. But they're another potential for egg replacement if you cannot find eggs at the store. You can also use chickpea flour. Now again, chickpeas have a distinctive taste, so you may taste that in your recipe, but you can put it in like omelets or pancakes or something like that. So 2 to 3 tablespoons of chickpea flour mixed with an equal amount of water. So if you use 2 tablespoons of chickpea flour, it's 2 tablespoons of water. Now, if you're into tofu and soy products, if you're making like an egg salad sandwich or an egg salad or something like that, and you need that that density and you don't have any eggs, you can replace it with firm tofu. I personally am not a soy person, so I try to stay away from tofu, but you can try to find the most organic, cleanest tofu and soy products that you can find. White beans is also another potential for an egg replacement, especially hard-boiled egg replacement. And what else? Nutritional yeast. Okay, so nutritional yeast, not really like an egg replacement, but it can add a little depth and flavor to your recipe. So there you go. Those are some egg replacements that you can find in the store instead of, if the egg shelf is completely bare or you don't want to pay $6, $7, $8 for a couple of eggs. I understand. So there's some options for some egg replacements for you. What else can I talk about, guys? I think that's probably about it right now. I have droned on long enough. Again, I don't have any, this just has to be, I don't have any edit equipment right now. This is just raw, and here we go. All right, so thanks for watching. I hope you got some information, some little food for thought there. I hope you got some good tidbits and tips on how to, maybe find your own eggs. Maybe you and some neighbors can go in together and buy a few chickens and get some chicken, fencing or a chicken roost, chicken shack, chicken whatever, a little house for the chickens, and you guys can switch off taking care of the chickens, and then you have some eggs, and then after a couple years you have fresh chicken. That's sad. That's kind of sad to say, but that's how we roll as humans, right? So maybe you can think about that, go in with a couple of neighbors in your neighborhood and come up with some plans. Maybe put up a neighborhood garden. So you just go in, you plant your whatever, and you guys, help each other out on that, and it's just a neighborhood garden. So think of different ways that you can help sustain yourself instead of relying on grocery stores that are out of all the stuff that you need to survive, right? All right, guys, that's it for my rant today. You guys have a great Friday or whenever you're watching this in the future. Happy holidays to you. And I would love it if you hit subscribe and like. And let me know in the comments. I know that I did ramble. You don't have to tell me I rambled. I know that. I can probably, pare it down to maybe 50% of what I said. So anyway, liking and subscribing and helping me getting new subscribers will get me better equipment so that I actually can edit this stuff. And also I'm coming to you from my sewing studio. So my sewing supplies are over here, and you could probably see my iron right there. So maybe sometime soon, someday soon, I will bring, Christmas. Yes, I wanted to do a Christmas gift, like a little something you can make at home for Christmas, like ornaments or mug rugs or tablecloth or something. Anyway, so that's my deal for today. Thank you for joining me. We'll be back soon. Have a good one. Bye.